Hi, my name's Mallory Hahn, and this is my vlog for the weekly reports on my practicum that I'm doing this spring semester 2018. I've had a lot of fun doing my practicum this semester. I am working with Center Stage as my practicum. This semester am actually working as the director of events for Center Stage, and with it comes a lot of responsibilities and a lot of fun and a lot of work, and I've learned a lot already, and I'm excited to be able to tell you what I've learned about. So this semester we've had 4 performances already. We're in week 5 of school, and we had 4 performances the first 4 weeks of school. And that was a lot of work, but we made it through, and they were all very successful, and we're really proud of how they turned out. A lot of what I do for my practicum is working with the performer and preparing for the performer and making sure that their needs are met when they come here. I want to be an event planner, and so that is why I'm doing this job. That's why I'm doing this practicum. It's all about events and how to organize them and make sure everything runs smoothly. And I've definitely learned a lot for event planning with this job and this practicum. So this semester we started off with having the great Kaplan come, and he was an illusionist. He was really good. And then the next week we had Nathan Pacheco, who was a singer, and he brought a pianist and a cellist with him, and he was amazing. And then we had Diego Figueiredo, I think is how you say it. He's a Brazilian guitarist, and he came, and he was also really good. And then this last week we had Mike Super come, and he was really fantastic. He's another magician, illusionist guy. And so as my position with my job, I plan and I execute everything. And so that starts with a marketing board. We have a marketing board full of 15 other practicum students that me and my co-director Cassidy run together. And with that, we meet once a week, and we come up with different marketing ideas for every week. So, for example, 2 weeks ago we had Diego come, and for him we decided to do a photo booth at our booth that we have in the MC. We made a bunch of different props, and we put that at our photo booth, or at our booth in the MC, and then any student who came past it could take a picture with it and post it on their stories on Instagram and tag us with it for a chance to win free tickets to the show. We also hid little Diegos around campus. We cut out little Diego shapes of him playing the guitar and hid them in buildings around campus and posted that on our social media as well. And any student that found that could win 2 free tickets to the performance as well. For Mike Super, we got pretty creative, and we decided to make a video, like a talent show audition video, where we showed a bunch of different students on our board. So we used board members to create this video where we showed a bunch of them trying to audition for this talent show, but none of their talents were very good, and they would draw but not draw very well, or they would tap dance but only have known how to tap for a week, or one of them tried to do a magic trick but completely failed. And we did all of this, and then at the end we were like, why are we doing this again? Isn't Mike Super coming? Let's just leave the talent to him, because he's super talented, because his name is Mike Super. So we posted that on social media, and we had a really great turnout. We also decided to do a promotion with our tickets, buy 2 for 1, with our booth. And we had those just at our booth, and it was only for students that came by our booth at the MC. And we ended up selling out both performances. Mike Super had 2 performances on campus. on Friday, and we sold out both performances, which was amazing. Our marketing board did a great job with those ideas this week. So that was really exciting and a lot of work, and it paid off. And so that's what we did for marketing during the week. We had those meetings, we planned those marketing strategies. We met during the week to cut out the Diegos and hide them around campus, or met to create the footage for the video and edit it and put that together and hand out coupons at the booth and things like that. And then a lot of my job goes into getting the performance ready. And so with that, I go to the grocery store with my shadow. I have someone that shadows me and someone that shadows my co-director every week to be able to learn what we're doing and what our jobs are, and that's a big part of their practicum credit as well. And so we go to the grocery store usually the day before the performance and get everything for the green room that the performer has requested. And then we go and set up the green room and make sure it looks really nice and that everything that they could possibly need is in it. We try to think of everything. We put plates, napkins, cups, utensils, napkins, drinks, snacks. We put a steamer in there just in case they want to be able to steam their clothes before they go on stage. We put towels in there. Sometimes performers will ask for all of this and other times they don't, and they're just excited to have that available to them when they get here. And so setting up a green room is really important, and we got to make sure it looks nice and professional. We are students, but we're working with professional performers, and so this is real life experience for this practicum, which is super awesome. And so we have to make sure that we're acting and being like professionals. And so once our green room is set up, we usually wait for our performer to get in. And so we wait backstage, we help them load in, we introduce ourselves, we make sure they know that if they need anything, that we're there to help them. And then they go on, we make sure they know when sound check is, and they go and start sound check and setting up for their performance. So with Mike Super, he got there and he had to start getting ready really quickly to make sure everything could be set up for him. And with Mike Super, it was a lot of work because we had two performances. Usually we have one at 7:30, and we had one at 6 and one at 8:30. And so we had to be ready a lot earlier that day. And so once we started getting him set up, we went and set up the merchandise table for his merchandise. We went and got ready for the meet and greet that we have after each performance. We made sure our board members knew where to go. We assigned board members to doors to greet people as they come in. And then people started lining up really early. The venue that we had Mike Super in is open seating, and so people come early so that they can get good seats, and it kind of got a little crazy. There's so many people because it was a sold-out show, but it was really good. I think we handled it very well. We tried to make it as organized as possible, and we did everything that we could to keep everybody happy. We loaded people into the auditorium as fast as we could. We worked well with the ushers with that. And then to start the show, I went on to MC and introduced our performer and brought him out onto the stage. During the first performance, we set up more for the meet and greet. We made sure that we had lines formed with barriers so that people knew where to weave in and out of. We made sure that we had a sign ready to direct people into the meet and greet room. And then also we set up for dinner. We usually have dinner before a performance, but since the first performance was so early, we decided to have it in between. And we have that for our AV staff and for our performer. And so my co-director Cassidy went and picked up dinner, and we, right as the show ended, we set it up backstage for all of AV and for the performers. That requires tablecloths, and utensils, like the correct serving utensils, setting that all up, making sure that's nice, making sure we have the correct drinks and enough drinks. A lot of the performers in AV request a lot of water bottles because it gets hot and they're doing a lot of things, and so we did that. And then I, at the same time, was in charge of the meet and greet after the first performance. And that was kind of stressful because we ended at 7:30 and we needed to open doors again at 8 p.m. to get the second show started. And our meet and greet did not end until 8 p.m. And so, and Mike Super still had to set up for a second show, so we ran him backstage. And while he was setting up, we tried to control the lines outside as best as possible. There were so many people there, and the building got very warm because there's so many bodies. But we did the best we could. We directed people. We told them, thank you for your patience. And we just said, like, we're having some difficulties. We'll be opening doors as soon as we can. And the minute that Mike Super gave us the okay, we opened doors. And we worked with the ushers really hard to be able to file people in as fast as we could and in the most organized way we could. And I think it went really well. We got people in fast, and people seemed pleased still, and we also had to call custodial to try to get the air conditioning on in that building because it was so warm and people were starting to complain, and making sure the audience is happy is a big part of my job with this practicum. So we got that taken care of. We started the second show. People were really pleased and excited, and then we had the meet and greet afterwards again, and that one meet and greet went a little bit longer since we had more time, and everyone was really excited and happy to meet him, and Mike Super left super pleased. He was so excited that we were able to sell out both performances. He was like, wow, that is good marketing on your end, so thank you guys. And we were really excited to be able to tell him that we were able to sell out both of his shows. That's almost 2,000 people that came to see him, and so that was super, super exciting. And so after the performance, we make sure he's set and has everything packed up. We help him pack his car up, and then we clean up the green room and make sure everything's taken out of that, and make sure that everything's cleaned up from dinner and that the backstage looks just like we found it, and we put all the tables and chairs away. We make sure AV is set. We make sure the performer is set and send him off. It's just pretty much our job to make sure everything is completely wrapped up, make sure the meet and greet room is cleaned up, make sure all of the audience leaves as happy as they can, and I think we did a really great job at that this week. It was really stressful with Mike Super, with the two performances, and both of them being sold out with so many people there, almost 1,000 people at each show, and having the first show run a little long, that was a lot of kind of stress. But I think it worked out really well. I think we were able to direct people the best we could. I think I learned a lot from that. I learned how to manage large amounts of people and how to make sure that they are pleased. They just paid a lot for this performance, not a lot, but they paid to come to this performance, and we want to make sure that they leave satisfied and will want to come back to more performances. And so that was something I learned with that. I also have learned how to interact with our performers. It's a lot of work to make sure that they're pleased, but it's worth it. And I've learned to try to think like them. For example, with Nathan Pacheco, he didn't really give anything he wanted in his green room, and so I was like, okay, what should I get for him? It's like, singers usually like a hot tea of some kind to help their throat, so I got him that and honey and everything that was needed for that and stuff, and he got here and he's like, oh, do you have tea for me? Yes, I do. And so that was really cool that I was able to start to think like like them and predict what they want and need, so that I'm not having to be like, oh no, we don't have something for you that you need. And I think that helps in the professional setting. I think that helps them to take you professionally and not as a student. And I've learned how to work well with our marketing board. That takes, some time to get used to working with students and finding a good balance between having fun and working hard and putting out good marketing. And I think we've really been able to balance that, and I think that really showed with our last week performance with Mike Super selling out both performances in the Practicum. That was really awesome, and I'm super proud of our marketing board that they're showing that they're putting in the time to their practicum that they need to too, and I think that's really awesome. So this week we don't have a performance, and so I've spent most of my time just preparing for marketing, getting marketing organized and ready, and getting ideas set for our next performance. But that's what I've done for my practicum so far. That's pretty much what we do every week. I meet with my boss every Monday to discuss how the performance the week before went and make sure he's satisfied. He's been really pleased with how the performances have turned out, especially Mike Super. He was like, I know it was crazy, but I'm really proud of you and how you handled it, and that means a lot to me. And so that was cool. And then we meet with our board every Monday. We've come up with some super awesome marketing ideas, and I can't wait to see what more they come up with. And then preparing for the performance and putting on the performance and running around an hour before, making sure everyone's set and everything's in the right spot and that we're good to start on time. And then I'm seeing and starting on time. I've learned a lot. It's been a ton of fun, and I'm really excited to see what else we can learn from this semester with this practicum. So thanks for watching, and that's what I've done the past 2 weeks for my practicum with Center Stage.